Alright, so I guess I'll start this video off by saying that I have changed a lot with my setup. I think the mic quality should be a lot better. I believe you won't be hearing the popping noises, you shouldn't hear background noise anymore. And for those of you that are new to the channel, I wouldn't recommend right now that you go to watch my other videos. I'm going to keep them up for a little bit just because I want it to at least look like this channel has some stuff on it because I have put work into it. I don't want it to look like this is my first video because it's not. I've definitely learned a lot and I'm still learning a lot. This video is going to be about the H3H3 Productions and T-Mobile scandal that is currently going on. To preface this, I'm going to say that I'm not a lawyer. I do not have any legal training. I'm not employed as a lawyer in any way. I just have some experience with legal jargon, and I feel like I can explain the situation enough, but I don't feel that I am qualified to say what the verdict should be or shouldn't be. Merely, I'm here to just draw an opinion. I would take everything I say with a grain of salt and make sure you check up on it before you believe it. So the story behind this is a couple of days ago, Ethan Klein, the creator, owner of the H3H3 Productions YouTube channel, released a video talking about how he was going to get hacked, how he was hacked because T-Mobile had given away his SIM card, the SIM card to his phone, T-Mobile being the wireless provider that he uses for a cell phone. Now, in this video, he stated that the reason that he was angry, the reason that he was potentially going to sue T-Mobile was not because they gave away access to a SIM card. It was why. It was because the group of hackers that were getting into his account, all they had to do was say they were T-Mobile employees and that they needed access to his phone. It wasn't because they got his phone number. They got access to a SIM card. Now, this fear did become a reality. Because they gained access to a SIM card, they were able to do many other things potentially, such as DDoSing his website, which did happen, and there were potential breaches in security with all of his passwords. Now, I'll link Ethan's video in the description, but he actually seems very rational about this. He isn't mad at T-Mobile for the fact that someone was able to get his information. This is something that happens all the time. What he was mad at is the fact that these companies, once stuff like this happens, don't change. Their policies are going to stay the same no matter what, unless you sue them for money. He claims that all they see is green, all they see is money. Now, he does bring up a very good point. I did some research into T-Mobile and their agreements with customers. I do not know their agreements with employees, if they have a separate one where employees are allowed to access any information they want at a given time, but I'm sure if that exists, that there is some sort of non-disclosure agreement where they are not allowed to then take that information and put it out in the public, sell it to whoever they want. What surprised me when I was researching T-Mobile's agreements with users was that there are many clauses within the contract about what you are required to do should your security information get leaked, should there be any issues with your account, and what you have to do to essentially protect the company so that nothing can hurt them. There is very limited about what they do to protect you. The one thing that T-Mobile states in their contract, and I'm going to read this word for word, is they say that we will treat presentation of proper account validation information as authorized access to an account. Now, again, I feel I should reiterate that I am not a lawyer. I am by no means here to say this is exactly what this means, but what you should take away from this, I feel, is that it is saying that in order to get access to someone's account, you essentially have to prove you are that person. How in-depth that is, you can set up on your own. However, through Ethan's video, he claimed that he didn't even feel, with the extra verification steps that he'd requested on his account, that it was secure. He felt that human error was still an issue that could come into play, that the validation wasn't an automatic thing that would happen. It was essentially a note that someone had to read, and they had to be looking to read that note. Now, I share Ethan's feelings here. When it comes to security, if there are security risks, potential breaches, not all of us have a free pass. And having your security violated can ruin a career. Look at groups like Poodle Corp, a hacking group. Had they gotten access to his accounts and had they wanted to, they're a group that's been hacking many YouTubers, showing that they can do anything they want to the videos. They've even said before that if they get access to other accounts, they are willing to delete them. And they could. They could easily delete his accounts. That gets rid of all his subscribers and it ruins his livelihood. Now, taking legal action is not something to do lightly. This is going to be a big battle, and no matter what, there are more than likely going to be changes to T-Mobile. How big the battle is could influence if there are going to be changes to other companies. Personally, I say that while it is unfortunate for Ethan that he's going to have to go through this potentially, I see it as a very good thing. It could usher in a lot of change for the technological community as a whole. This case, should it go to court, could fairly easily set a precedent for the standards that companies have to face in protecting your security. While it may require an extra step for you to say, I want this level of verification necessary, it would be something. Now with companies, many companies, not just T-Mobile. T-Mobile is just the company that happened to have this happen first to them, have a big YouTuber go after them, and want changes. But it is not the only company that's at fault here. Almost any other wireless carrier, you have the same issues where you have to, any verification that's extra, you have to specifically say, I want that, I want you to change this. It's something that's true for Verizon, something that's true for Sprint. And when it comes to security, these companies want it that way. It's not their fault. They don't want to take extra responsibility. They don't have to. They don't want, should someone gain access to your account, to be at fault for it, because then that puts them at jeopardy. That puts their livelihood at jeopardy as opposed to just yours. They want to take as little involvement in you as possible. That's why there are so limited clauses on what they have to do when it comes to your contract as opposed to what you have to do. Now, what I would really like to see come of this is I would like to see, as I said before, a preset thing where you select how high you want your security to be. Whether you need to verify both your social security number, name, address, and then 5 security questions, or if you just want it to be, hey, my name is this, I need help with my account. This is a very simple measure that should be in place today but isn't. It could easily be in place today. It's as simple as just a checkbox that if you want more security, you just have to put in more information. It benefits all parts of the spectrum. My grandmother could just say, I want my name, this is my name. If I call you and say this is my name, I would like access to my account, I would like to be able to change stuff. My roommate, who has a PIN-coded hard drive to get into, along with a virtual password for the hard drive that is different from the PIN code, could say, I want a 500-character password. Here are the numbers. Now in the comments, I'd like to hear what you think of this. If you think that these security measures should have been in place already, if you think that there should be change, if you think the company should stay the way they are, I'd love to hear it in the comments. If you like this channel, again, be sure to like and subscribe. I'll be trying to put out more content regularly. I know I took a couple weeks off. I was changing my setup. I was moving. Thank you guys for watching, and again, I hope I taught you something nifty.